Introduction: the earliest surviving photograph.
At first, this does not look like a photograph at all. It looks like a damaged metal plate, difficult to read, almost reluctant to yield an image. And yet what we are looking at is usually considered the earliest surviving photograph made with the aid of a camera obscura.
A camera obscura is a dark chamber, sometimes a room, sometimes a box, with a small opening that lets light in. Light from the outside scene passes through that opening and forms an inverted image on the surface inside. In other words, the world projects itself into the chamber, upside down. What mattered was not the projection itself. The real challenge was finding a way to make that image stay.
Chapter 1: a photograph that barely looks like one.
At first, this barely looks like a photograph. It looks like a reflective metal plate, marked by time and difficult to read. The image does not declare itself clearly. It has to emerge from the surface, slowly, almost reluctantly. And yet this obscurity was not a matter of mystery alone, but of experiment, of light, chemistry, and a surface being tested for what it could hold.
Chapter 2: not a print, but a plate.
This is not a print. It is a plate. Small, metallic, vulnerable, reflective. The image does not sit on paper. It inhabits a worked surface, one that still catches light 2 centuries later. What feels striking is not only its fragility, but its age. The first surviving photograph belongs not to modernity fully formed, but to the 1820s.
Chapter 3: how Niépce made light stay.
This image was made by Nicéphore Niépce, a French inventor who, by the 1820s, had already spent years experimenting with light, surfaces, and the problem of permanence. He was not entering an established medium. He was trying to create one. He called the process heliography. First, he coated a polished plate with a light-sensitive bitumen. Then he placed it inside a camera obscura and waited. Not for a second, not for a moment, but for hours and perhaps for days, until light itself hardened parts of the surface into an image.
Chapter 4: before photography had a name.
Niépce was not stepping into an established art. He was working before photography existed as a recognized medium. He was trying to solve a problem: how to let an image form itself and then remain.
Chapter 5: the earliest surviving image.
This image was made in 1827. It is widely regarded as the first photograph, and it is certainly the earliest one to survive. Today it is usually known as View from the Window at Gras, though Niépce referred to images of this kind as point de vue, views from life. What we are seeing here is photography at its beginning.
Chapter 6: how the plate survived.
This plate did not become famous at once. For a long time, it remained a little-known object, passing through private hands rather than entering public history. But the work behind it did not vanish. Niépce's experiments continued, and through his later partnership with Gras, they became part of the path that led photography into public view.
Chapter 7: conservation and the oxygen-free case.
The first surviving photograph survives today inside a carefully engineered environment. Its case is hermetically sealed and filled with argon, an inert gas used to protect the plate and its frame from oxygen-induced deterioration. Sensors monitor oxygen, temperature, and humidity, while absorbent materials inside the case help stabilize the atmosphere. What keeps this image visible now is not chance, but continuous technical care.
Chapter 8: the bars at the edge.
The bars at the edges are not part of Niépce's image. The strip on the left appears to be a color and grayscale target, used to check tonal balance and color accuracy when the plate is photographed as an object. The strip on the right functions as a measurement scale and control target, helping record the plate's size and the fidelity of the reproduction. In other words, we do not meet this photograph directly. We meet it through preservation, calibration, and digital translation.
Chapter 9. What the image actually shows.
Only now do we return to the image itself. A courtyard, outbuildings, roof lines, trees, light resting on surfaces that are easier to sense than to read. The scene does not reveal itself all at once. It has to be assembled, slowly, from tonal fragments. And yet its force is unmistakable. For the first time, the visible world was not only projected, but made to stay.
Chapter 10. Final look.
This image does not yet give us the world clearly. It gives us something stranger, and perhaps more moving. The moment when the world first began to remain, not yet transparent, not yet easy to read, but no longer lost to light alone.
If this brought something to light, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.